Do you want to be right or do you want to be in a relationship? So many people, when it comes to relationships, they say they want to be in a relationship, but they would rather be right. Which group do you fall in? I want a relationship or I want to be right. This is Susie, your beautiful swan queen. Welcome back to the garden, my beautiful ducklings. Today is day 7 of the challenge. So tell me how your short phrase is drastically changing your life for the better. I was up late last night and I painted the studio. So redid the pictures, not sure about the new picture look. Maybe I with that for a little bit. But when I was painting, I have to be right. I have to get the edge of the ceiling just right, the corners just right, the trim just right. Can't get paint on the trim because, that's wrong. And I'm hanging up the pictures and they have to be just at the right height. So I've got a tape measure and I'm measuring 30 inches down from the ceiling to put my thumbtack, and then 30 inches down from the ceiling on this side, and then measuring this corner to this corner. I mean, I have to have it precise. I have to have it accurate. I have to have it 100% right. Is this picture further over? Is that picture closer? I don't know. But when we are telling stories about the loves of our lives, our weight, our money, we have a story that we ran in our head. And because we've been telling this story has become our mantra. It's become our reality. It's become what we see in the world. Well, here's the problem. When you're changing the story, that old story has to be right. You have to be right. So I'm financially struggling, so your bank account is going to show you financial struggle because you were right. If you are saying now I'm wealthy, well, your bank account's saying no, Do you want to be right? You're struggling because this new story is not true. So you're right, you're struggling, you're not wealthy. You're right, you're struggling, you're not wealthy. So we're in a relationship. He disrespects me. So he does these things, and you're like, see, I'm right, he disrespects me. She has no understanding of what's mine is ours, what's yours is ours. So everything that comes out of her mouth is, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. Now you're right. She disrespects you. What else can we pick apart? Oh, let me think. Let's get the perfect puppy. He wants a big dog, but you have small children. So he goes to the Humane Society and he gets this rescue Great Dane. He brings this rescue Great Dane home. The kids take one look at it and scream because it's a giant horse. And you're going, I was right. I told you the kids would not be able to handle a big dog. Well, if I'm constantly having to be right, then the universe has to deliver exactly what you're saying. So I love this. I haven't talked to him in a week. It'll start actually with, I haven't talked to him in 2 days. Now it's been a week. Now it's been 2 weeks. Now it's been 3 weeks. I have not talked to him in 3 weeks. Well, you keep claiming it. So now the universe is proving that you're right, and he's not going to respond. So you have your bubble going, he's not talking to me, and he's going, you're right, I'm not talking to you. He's disrespecting me. You're right, I'm going to treat you like crap. I don't really say that except to you, you're right, but I still hear it. I mean, let's think about this, guys. If you want to be in a relationship, it's about give and take. Well, he's busy. He'll text me when he gets a chance. He's busy. He'll do what I need him to do. He always keeps his word to me. Always keeps his word. You want to mate for life? Because that's what swans do. They mate for life. They find this one person and they think, I am with you for life. But nobody ever sees if they have an argument or disagreement. And if they do, How do they make it up and move past it so they're always together? Because they don't have to be right. They would rather be in a relationship with that other person than to be right. You have an argument. No big deal. We'll do money argument because 90% of couples love fighting over money. I don't know why. To me, it's just wrong. There's nothing you should really fight over. You should discuss it. But we're going to fight about money. The car payment's due. But you need to fix the dripping faucet. He says, we have to fix this faucet, babe, because if we don't fix this faucet, we're going to have a water break. And if we have a water break, we're going to flood the house. And we may not be here to shut the water off. I know the car payment's due. But if we pay $300 on the car and take the other $100 and we pay that towards fixing the faucet, we can make up that extra $100 somewhere to catch up on that payment within the next month. And you're like, well, you can't do that. We have to make that car payment. I mean, we can't risk our car, because if we risk not making that car payment, I mean, what's going to happen? It's going to affect our credit. They might repossess the car. I mean, something could go wrong and we not be able to make that up. And he's going, you're right. I totally understand where you're coming from. But the bigger catastrophe is we could have our house completely flooded. And you're so dead set on your point of view, and he's so dead set on his point of view, your relationship's not going to work. Because the car got repossessed and the house flooded. Because you couldn't agree on what to do. And that's what happens when you have to be right in a relationship. You are flooding the house and he's repossessing the car. So you both are bad at managing money because you should have had the extra for this. Instead of saying, you know what, let's call the car company and see what they say. I'm not against, seeing if we can make a partial payment this month, but let's see what they say under the circumstances. So you call, and you get one of my friends who works in a call center, and they're like, hey, I got a problem, and I was wondering if you could give me a little bit of what would be the cause and effect of this problem. I have this pipe that's leaking in my house, and I have to fix it. If I fix it, it means I'm going to be short on my car payment. So if I make a partial payment, can I make arrangements somehow to make the rest of that payment later? What's my grace period? What do I need to do to stay on top of my payment but not get my house flooded? Do you know what? We're trained to help you in that situation. So we tell you, well, absolutely. So if the car payment's $400, if you make a $200 payment today, you'll be able to get your house plumbing fixed. And then I can set up payment arrangements in the system that says that you're going to pay the $100 for the next month's payment extra, and the other $100 the second month extra to make those payments along with your regular car payment. So that means for the next 2 months you're paying $500. Well, you go fix the faucet. You found out it only cost $50 to fix the leaky faucet that's going to flood the house. You can take that extra $150 and put it towards there. Now you're only $50 short. Neither one of you were right. But the person who you called is trained to handle these situations and give you options as to what to do. But you spent days fighting over this. So you've raised your water bill. You've caused an argument in your relationship. You have told the person and they've told you you're irresponsible, all because your point of view has to be right. So I am manifesting the love of my life back. One, again, that means you don't have them. You are in lack. Two, I only say that to you. You're right. You may only physically say it to me or text it out to me, but it's running in your programming. And three, because you're telling me you're right and nothing's changing. So if you want to be thin, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be in a happy relationship, you gotta be wrong. I actually had a lady tell me that when you are a parent, nothing you do is right. Everything you do is wrong. You discipline them, you're wrong. You help them with their homework, you're wrong. You don't discipline them, you're wrong. You don't help them with your homework, you're wrong. You make their favorites for dinner, but they wanted something else, you're wrong. So I would rather be wrong and be in an absolutely positively amazing relationship than be right and on the verge of breaking up or having to manifest them back. What you guys are trying to do is control the other person and control the relationship. And manifesting has taught us, well, my thoughts create my reality, or I do this imaginal scene, or I script this crap out, and it's all about me. But you have to be 100% about you and 100% right all the time, and it has to be 100% this way. Congratulations, you're right, and you're a control freak. A total 100% control freak. So I want to lose weight. I walk into the bathroom and I'm like, oh God, my stomach, when is it going to be flat? Does it ever get flat? Or is it, the mom pooch, everybody says, well, you had kids, so you're stuck with it for eternity. Oh God, that means if I'm going into another lifetime, because we have parallel realities, that I'm going to have a mom's pooch in my next reality? Oh God, no. So now we need to go over here and we need to step into this reality, and we need to be in a reality where I have a flat stomach. That story just even sounds crazy, guys. But if I pick up my coffee cup and I go, you know what? My grandmother told me when I was growing up, if I drank coffee, I'd always be the perfect weight for my body. So because I've been drinking coffee since she put it in my bottle the very first time, I've always been the perfect weight for my body. And this mirror is reflecting my old thoughts, because I'm always the perfect weight for my body. Or I pick a number. Before I had kids, everything was a 5. I was 5 foot tall, I wore a size 5 ring, I wore a size 5 shoe, and a size 5 dress. And we won't go there. I had 5 5s. Everything was a 5, including my cup size. So size 5 shoes, size 5 pants, size 5 dress, size 5 cup size, 5 feet tall. And my ring is a size 5. Everything was a 5. And I used to walk around and somebody would go, what size? A 5. You didn't ask me what was size 5 I was, no, seriously, what size your pants? 5. Well, what size is your shoe? A 5. What size is your ring? A 5. They would be like, are you serious? Yes, everything was a size 5. So if I were to walk around again and say, I've always been a size 5. Everything in my reality is always a 5. 5 feet tall, 5 foot shoe, size 5 dress, size 5 pants, size 5 ring. My cup size is a size 5. It was a reality I lived in until I had kids. And then I got back to the size 5. And then I had another one, and I got back to the size 5. But when I got bit by the snake, my reality became steroids and antibiotics, and I bloated up, and I gained weight, and steroid weight is really heavy to lose. It's the hardest thing in the world to lose is steroid weight. I mean, it just stays with you forever and ever. And I'd go to the gym, and they'd be like, steroid weight? Oh, babe, you're screwed. That's the hardest thing in the world to lose. Instead of going, what size do you want to be? What weight do you want to be? They're like, why are you heavy? The difference between a therapist and a life coach. The therapist is going, well, why are you heavy? And the life coach is going, why are you the perfect weight for your body? What do we need to do to create the perfect weight for your body? The therapist is going, well, why are you eating that Starbucks frappe? Why are you going to McDonald's? I talked to a lady the other day who is a weight loss coach, and she said that you can actually eat out every single meal, never cook a meal at home, and still lose 100 pounds. Because when you go to this restaurant, you eat certain things on the menu. When you go to this restaurant, you eat certain things on the menu. So if you eat out breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you can still lose weight if you get the formula right. And the formula right is I can eat out and still lose weight. And since I don't know how to do that, this person does, they can show me. So you can walk around and you can browbeat yourself and be right, or you can walk around and go, you know what, today I might be wrong, but the person that's going to show me the right way to do it is going to show up. I'm wrong. He does text me. I'm wrong. He is calling. I'm wrong. He's knocking on my door. Would you rather be wrong all the time and be in a relationship? Because as a parent, you discipline your child. You have a teenager. The teenager breaks curfew. The first time you're like, oh, well, don't do it again. The second time you're like, seriously, bub, I told you not to do it again. The third time you're like, you're grounded. They do it again. But you never really follow through. You just keep kind of threatening them. And then you get a knock on the door one night and it's the cop bringing your son home or your daughter. And you're like, well, I've been telling them they can't be out past curfew. Well, I guess this is the consequences. And the cop is going, you're not doing your job, so I have to? Thanks a lot. It's not the cop's job to discipline your child because he's out after curfew. But as a mom, you're wrong because you wouldn't let him stay out past curfew, and you're wrong because you made him accountable. But guess what? That child grows up, right? And one of my dearest friend's son actually told me this. He goes, if I knew what I was doing as a kid now to my mom, I wouldn't have done a fraction of what I did to her. He said, I did not realize until I had my own kids what I was doing to my mom. And if I had to do it all over again, I would be completely different. I would have helped her more. I would have buffered more. I would have made sure that my brothers and sisters were more respectful to her. We don't see that when we're in this position. All we see is we're right, they're not doing something. It's not showing up in 3D. It's not showing up in, we don't see physical proof of it. And we are constantly talking about the fact that we are right. But if you really, really, truly want to be healthy, to be wealthy, to be in an amazing relationship, to have your dream life, you gotta let go of the ego and being right. Because the best things in life happen when you're wrong. You get that text message. You get the knock on the door. You get the $1 million prize. We're all working so hard to prove that manifesting will get the person back because we're using this tool or this technique or this tip. And we're right, this didn't work, so now we're going to try this tool, technique, and tip. We're right, it doesn't work. Manifesting doesn't work. We're right. Instead of going, you know what, we're wrong. Manifesting does work. But because I'm using the word manifesting, I'm lacking. Instead of saying you are in a relationship with Jared, you're saying, you're right, you're not in a relationship with Jared. It's all just a pipe dream. It's wishing in one hand, crapping in the other, slapping it together, and nothing happens. Stop being so obsessed about being right, because the more you argue with me, you don't tell anybody else XYZ, the more I know you do. And you are trying to prove your point and justify why it's not working. Stop justifying. Explore in the wrong. Explore in the unknown. What would it truly feel like today if they knocked on your door and said, I love you and I want to be in a relationship with you. Will you give me another chance? It would feel absolutely amazing. But you're right, they're not showing up. So because you're right, their bubble is saying, I want to be in a relationship with her and I want to go knock on her door, but she has to be right and I can't do that because she says we're in silent zone. Change your focus. Let go of the obsessive need to be right. Let it flow and talk about how amazing things are for you. You're wrong. They are showing up. You're just not allowing them to because your story has to be proven right. So when you change your story, prove the old story wrong. And start asking, why is this new story you're creating then right? If you have to be right, keep asking, why is this new story right? Why am I right and I'm the perfect weight for my body? Why am I right and he's knocking on my door? Why am I right and he's respecting me? Why am I right and he's bringing me coffee and saying I love you? I'm going to go drink my coffee. I'm going to go play with my wall. I'm going to go have fun with the 4-year-old today. But I'm not going to worry about whether or not I'm right or wrong in what I do. Because no matter what I do with that 4-year-old, I'm wrong. If I tell her she can't have a piece of candy, I'm wrong. If I offer her a piece of candy and she wanted an egg, I'm wrong. So I'm just going to let go of being right and just accept the fact that no matter what I do, somebody's going to think I'm wrong and the universe is going to deliver whatever I want then. That's why it's here. That's why I get whatever I want. Because I don't care if I'm right or I'm wrong. All I care is that Dave is absolutely positively amazing. He fills my order, he gives it to Dawn, and Dawn brings it to me every single time. I love you guys. Have an absolutely amazing day. Subscribe, smash the like button, share my videos, and as always, tell me why what I'm sharing with you is drastically changing your life for the better. I'm going to go drink my coffee and relax before the 4-year-old comes up.